Alright. Welcome everybody. Starting a new stream. A little bit behind schedule. Had to kill the loop there. Sorry about that. Yeah, so a little bit behind schedule. For some reason, Restream decided, like, yesterday I could stream to Facebook, but today I couldn't. So I had to turn off Facebook in order for it to work. So sorry, Facebook. It's just YouTube and Twitch today. But I think that's okay. It's not a big deal. For the 2 people that liked my stuff on Facebook, thanks, but, you know, I guess it's hard to get people to like your stuff on Facebook at like 5 in the morning or whatever, you know. But yeah, so if you're coming from Twitter, you might have saw the video I made. I'm making this brick into a breakable brick, right? So I've already got the art made, so that should make things relatively easy. But yeah, so I'm going to try to make it so the bullet has like a on collider enter, and then it's going to check to see if it's got a script, which this thing's going to have. So first thing I want to do is make a script that's just going to be on the block, right? And this is going to be like a tag, basically. I'm using a script instead of a tag because I haven't run out of tags, but I'm like, there's too many tags. I'm done with tags. I'm trying to end my tag usage, or at least tag creation. I'm done creating tags unless I really need to, or if it's super helpful. Because I've just got way too many. I mean, for every collision object, I was making tags when I first started this, so it's like I learned a lot since then. All right, so I've got this guy. We're gonna make a new script for him. I've got explore minigame scripts here, so I might as well put it there, since it's only going to work in this game mode. It's a 2D collider. The rest of the game is 3D colliders, so this game mode is very much its own separate thing. So just to make it C# script, we're gonna call it block destruct. Block destruct. I guess I could have called it destructible or anything really, but block destruct will work for now. Yeah. Alright, so this thing doesn't need anything. It just needs to be on the game object. Yeah, there might be an even better way of doing this, but this is working, so... And it seems to be pretty well optimized. Granted, it is a mono behavior, so there are things I could probably get rid of or whatever to make it even smoother, but this will work for now. Wall tiles gray. Yeah, that's it right there. I'm gonna give it a better name. Destructible block. Okay, alright, so I've got that. I just need to put the script on it. Block destruct. So that script's gonna be empty, and I'm gonna work on the 2D shooting script. I don't think that's in this folder. Shot 1 2D. This is the one I want. So it's got this on collision enter, or on trigger enter, but I'm gonna make it on collision enter. That's not what I wanted at all. I didn't write void. I got to spell. Yeah, so on collision enter 2D. And I don't like collision, I like other. I'll change that. I think collision is not as it doesn't express what's being hit, right? Like other is saying that the other object is what you're dealing with. So it's just, to me, it makes more sense to use other. It prevents any confusion down the road. So when this object hits another object, if the other object has this script on it, right? So the way that I do this, I refer to the first time that I did it because it's still kind of new to me, actually. I did it in the pinball gravities script or something. Yeah, pinball gravity pull. So this was the first time that I used it. It just makes it super easy to remember if I just grab this and replace this here. So yeah, I don't need that. What I need is to replace this with my script. So it's going to be the block destruct script, right? And then this is going to be the name of the script. So that was block destruct. So this copy to here. Alright, so now it's checking to see if it's null. And so I need to make a reference to this. But I can put it at the bottom. I could actually make it private, I believe. But I'm gonna make it public because I'm not sure. And I don't want to have to go back and guess. So I'm just gonna do that. Whoops, that's not what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Block destruct script other get component block destruct. So Cloud 2D does not have definition for get component. Huh. Other dot get component. But it works on a 3D? That's, or it works on a collision, or on a trigger, but not on a... Huh, that's really weird. Let's try, oops. Google here. I cannot spell. This person's doing something quite different than what I'm doing, so that doesn't really help. See, I mostly use on trigger enter, and I maybe I never really learned how to do on collision enter. But this is using tags. block destruct dot equals other dot get component. Can I highlight that? I want to search that message. Collision 2D does not contain a definition for get component. There's a definition. Is that the word that I'm looking for? Oops. Yeah. Maybe this will help. Or that, I don't know. I think that's gonna help. It's not even a collision script. Huh, yeah, I don't know why I can't use it that way. That's kind of disappointing. I was hoping that I could just, you know. Wow, that's hard to read. Oops. Maybe I have to use collision. I mean, I always do triggers, so maybe that's why it's giving me a hard time here. No, it doesn't seem to make a difference. Because it's just another variable name. Collision 2D does not contain definition for get component and no accessible extension method get component accepting a first argument type. Collision 2D could be found. Are you missing a using directive or assembly reference? So this way of doing it's just not going to work, apparently. Block destruct, collision dot get component, block destruct. I could use a tag, right? Get contact, maybe that's what I need. Maybe not, I don't know. Contact point. So I'm not sure whether I should use a tag or if I should use a trigger instead. The thing with the trigger is that it's like, I don't know, a trigger won't really matter too much unless you like manage to somehow hit the trigger and not the block, and it would look like but you know, you put the trigger close enough and then it wouldn't work. But then there's the idea that you might hit the block and pass through the transform of the trigger, right? Because it's the rigid body can pass right through and hit the collider, which is going to kill the block, and then it could destroy the bullet before destroying the block, which is a problem that I have using triggers on blocks. So I think I should just make a tag, because if it's not letting me do it the way that I normally do it, then maybe I should just do it the way that I don't want to do it. Which is kind of funny because I came into this saying I don't want to make any tags, and now here I am thinking, well, I think I'll just make a tag, so there's that for you. I guess I'll make a tag then. Alright, so I've got my destructible block. I think I'm just going to call it destructible block, and then I can use it in the other game mode too. Now, this is why I don't want to make any more tags, because it's just insane. It's insane, it just keeps going. It's like such a pain just to make a tag. There's 100, this is 107 now. Way too many tags. I don't know if there's a limit. It's probably 256 or something like that. Yeah. Destructible block. Yeah, so I'm probably going to use that for the ball in 2D mode, or in 3D mode, and for the shot in 2D mode. And because it's a tag, it's kind of versatile like that, so that way at least I only have to use it once. Hopefully. We'll just have to see about that, to be honest. Alright, so now that I made the tag, I'm going to give it to the object. Actually, I should probably give it to the collider. Gotta go all the way down. And this is why you shouldn't make tags like I do. They're super cumbersome when you have a whole bunch. Alright. So yeah, this is a collider. It's not a trigger. So instead of this, I'm just going to check if it's a tag. And I'm going to change this back to other because I just like other better. Destructible block. Destructible block. if other tag, well, why is this giving me such a hard time? I don't understand what I did wrong here. Is it because it's private void? What's up with that? Huh. What the heck is this? Game object, not game object? That's definitely not the same issue that I'm having. Right? Other... Maybe it has to be collision, I don't know, man. I don't know why this is giving me such a hard time. I thought I thumbs down to all these songs. Also, Facebook was like muting them. Not that I'm streaming to Facebook, but I want to listen to this. Oh, it's like right here. Oops, where was I? Did I? Oops. It's not even the script. I want a script. Huh. This one says collision. Pretty sure that's how I spelled it, but sometimes my eyes can trick me. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong here. Yeah, honestly, this is being so weird that I'm just going to save it and restart it because I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it'll fix itself or something. Sometimes, you know, I've seen stranger things go down. Give me this chance to stretch. It's loading on the other screen. Giving me this safe mode shit because I saved it with an error. It won't even let me move it. Okay. So apparently it's the code, it's not the software. So I'm just gonna comment that code out and we'll deal with that outside of safe mode. I don't know why safe mode is like 10 times slower than regular mode. Okay, so all that was worth nothing. Well, there it is. I had to choose the transform. No, it won't let me do that either. Maybe it will. Okay. Well, maybe I could check to see if other game objects, collision game objects. If that's crazy, then. Okay, so I can do it that way. Wow. So I don't need to make the tag. It was because I needed to write game object that whole time. Wait, yeah, block destruct. Wait. I'm doing this all wrong. How did I have it before? So I think other is automatically a game object and collision is not. It's collision data. Yeah, so that makes sense that you have to pull the game object out of the collision data. Because collision data's got other stuff in it too, I think, or something. I don't really know. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Alright, so... Okay, I think this is working. Finally, wow, getting places. I can't believe for like, what was that, half an hour I was scratching my head on where if I needed to write game object there, and I didn't realize that. Okay. I don't need the tag anymore. It's on there, but I don't need it. I should probably get rid of it so I don't think that I need it. Oops, that's not the right one. It's the hub. Damn it. So you can't delete it until you untag it. So untag it, and then to go to delete tags, you have to act like you're gonna add a tag. So you go to add tag, and then you scroll down, and you click on the tag you want to delete, hit the minus button, and it says removed until you come back later. And then that should be good. So now we can just put that script on it. Block destruct on the cube. It's on there. So now what we can do is we can tell it to do stuff. So now we can actually populate this script. In order for it to trigger, it doesn't need anything in it, but after it triggers, we want it to do stuff. So I'm going to make a script in here. It's going to be public, so we can call it from the other script. Void. And we're going to call it damage. So that means we need a variable for, I'm going to make it public just because I'm lazy. It should be a serialized field private, but I'm just too lazy for that. So I'm just public it's gonna be damage essentially. So we'll call it damage int. It's more like health or whatever, but it's, yeah, how much damage you've taken, I think, is what it's gonna be. So that means we need a max. Alright, so we've got damage. Here we're going to add to the damage. So we'll say damage int plus equals 1. And then we'll check to see if it's over the max. If damage int greater than or equal to the damage max int, then we're going to destroy the block. So we're going to make another function, and we'll call it destroyed. I'll call it destroy blocks. Make sure it's not confused with on destroy or anything like that. Oops. Alright, so the last thing I want to do is destroy the game object completely. But there's going to be like an animation that plays out and a parent object and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a spot to cache the parent object. And it's going to be a game object. Oops, yeah, and we'll just call it parent dio. So that way, the last thing it'll do, and this is going to actually be a coroutine. Alright, public IEnumerator, and then we'll put yield return new wait for seconds, and then I'm going to make a destroy time. But you know what I like to do? Whenever I'm making a coroutine, I like to write delay or timer whenever I'm doing it, so that way I don't forget that it's a coroutine. So I'm gonna write delay there, and time that kind of already has that vibe to it, so I'm just gonna leave that. So we got destroy time, that semicolon is on the wrong side of the parentheses. Destroy block delay. So that means that's a reminder to me that to start it, I'm gonna need to write start coroutine. Alright, so the last thing is to destroy the parent. So, and we're not actually going to destroy it. Oops, what am I doing here? We're just going to say parent geo set active false. That way we won't worry about garbage collection. And if we need it later, we can just reset transform or whatever, do something else with it. But I think it'll be fine to just turn it off and leave it there. But yeah, you know, I might want to change the script so that way a version of the block like reappears after a while or something like that. And then I could just change the color or something like that to make the game design flow and to have a dynamic mechanic. Alright, so that was the last thing. So before it does that, we want to play the animation or whatever it is. So what I usually do is I just turn on a game object for the particles. So I'll make a cache for that. We'll call it game object particle geo. I'm gonna spell it right though. Am I spelling it wrong? Particle. All of a sudden it looks funny to me. Particle, I think that's right. Particle. Now I'm second guessing myself. I just need to Google how to spell particle. Okay, so it is Ellie. Fucking losing it. Alright, so we've got the particle geo. We can set that to be true. And I like to just make it so it turns off on its own. I'll usually give it its own script that deactivates after a while, or I'll do something with the particle effect itself. So I can kind of leave the particle effect there for now, and yeah. And honestly, I can actually go another step and say if has particles, because it doesn't have any particles yet. So that's just for debugging, I guess. Oh, I need to declare it. Has particles. Yeah, so that way I can turn that off as soon as I make it, so it doesn't throw errors at me right away, because I don't have particles for it yet, and it'll take me a minute to make them. Alright, so we've got the particles taken care of. It's going to destroy the game object, but we do want it to actually destroy, or just not destroy, but deactivate the collider right before it disappears. Otherwise it'll look like there's particles on top of the square, and then the square is just going to disappear, and that's not going to look as good. So we want the square to disappear as the particles appear, so we'll do it right beforehand. and we want you to be able to pass through it as well. So we'll make a game object called graphics, and we'll make a game object called what was the other one we need? You know, I'm not sure. I got ahead of myself there, and then I lost track. Alright, so graphics, set active, false. Oh, and the collider, that's what we need. And that's going to be its own separate game object also, so we can just grab that. Game object, pipe geo. Oops. Alright. Alright, so destroying it's going to turn off the collider, turn off the graphics, check to see if it has particles. If it does, it's going to turn them on, it's going to wait for the destroy time, and then it's going to turn off the parent object, which is everything. So that way we can travel through it. It will play the animation, it will play the particles animation, and then it's going to wait for all the animations to play out, then it's going to turn itself off, and you'll be able to pass through it that whole time. So it will feel like it's already dying or dead, but it'll still be waiting until the animations play out to make it look as appealing as possible before disappearing from the screen. But right now it doesn't do anything when it takes damage. It just has a number. So we want to give it some different images. So we've got our sprite renderer. Oh. And we could probably just get it from the game object or whatever, but it's just easier to cache it this way in the inspector, because I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. This is all theoretical game object stuff in my head. So sprite renderer, we're just going to call it sprite rend. Yeah, it's easy enough. Sprite rend. Public. Then we're gonna make what is this called? Is it just a spray? Yeah. Damage 1. So each different tile of the tile set has 5 different pieces of damage. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So each one is going to use the same script, but I'll just have to load in each sprite for each tile and then make them each a separate prefab. And then yeah, so it's definitely not going to be using the tile map system, because I'm not sure exactly how to swap out tiles and stuff like that as easily. So I've decided that I'm just going to try to recreate that tile map scenario with the same kind of effect, but no actual tile maps. And still use the tile maps for other parts of the level design where I can, because it does simplify things. So I'm going to try to recreate that so I can get more out of it, right? That's the plan. Yeah, so if it's not, then we can start checking for other stuff, right? If the damage is, so there's going to be 5 stages of damage, obviously. So if damage int equals, so if it starts at 0, then 1 will be the first damage. So we'll say sprite renderer that sprite equals damage 1. Yeah, because we don't need to cache that first sprite because it'll already be in the sprite renderer. Because that would make a 6th, right? I'm pretty sure. I should probably look, but I'm pretty sure that I've got a non-damaged one. So I've got images, sprites, level, derelict, ship, somewhere over here, wall, gray, tiles, damage. Yeah, okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sprites. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And the first one doesn't need to be cached. Alright, so yeah, this is gonna work. All we gotta do is copy this 5 times, or 4 times rather. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it's 2, 3, 4, we want it to be 2, 3, 4. So why is there no 5? I think we do need 5, right? Because if it's 1, it's 2, if it's 3, if it's... Oh no, because 5 is the max. I do think there should be some type of particle effect also. So... I'll deal with that once I make it, because I think it's going to be one of those where it does a quick spurt, and then that's it, right? So that way I can just go particle effect enabled, particle effect enabled, particle effect enabled whenever you shoot the block. But yeah, this should be ready to at least start to test here. If I save the scripts. Let's see. We've got all this stuff here now. So the sprite renderer is on the parent object. So I'm going to kind of refactor this game object a bit, right? So I'm actually going to make a. I'm just gonna say. I'm just gonna copy this game component, and then I'm gonna just gonna duplicate this one and then remove the components, and then paste component as new. So now it's got a sprite renderer. I'm gonna call this graphics. This one, collider. Just to be obvious, I'm gonna call that one parent. So it's got a sprite renderer it no longer needs. This one is too small. So I'm just gonna copy the transform of this one. Did that not work? Oh, I didn't want to do that. So I'm just gonna change these to 256. Oh shit, that's too big now. Oh, okay, so it just needs to be 1 because the other one's 256. Okay, so now it's all back to normal. Alright, so we've got the block destruct script on the parent. We've got the block destruct script on the collider. So we really only need 1. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. But the collider needs to know everything then. You know what? Actually, this shouldn't be on the collider. Or no, it should. I just worry that if the game object is off, then the script won't work. But it will if we call the functions, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. We'll play with it. I'm just gonna load it up with everything here. So we'll go graphics, damage. So this is just the basic square block. This guy here. So it's gonna be the first one on each of these. Oh, the collider needs to know. So there's damage 1, damage 2, damage 3. This might seem like a lot of work, and it kind of is, but I did make all of these sprites, so I do want to use them, and I think the more you have, the better it looks, so that's why there's so many. So the parent is the one that's labeled parent. The particles don't exist yet, so we don't need that. It doesn't have particles. The graphics we put in the graphics objects. The collider we'll put in the collider. Max is 5. Destroy time we'll just say 0.2 for now. There's no particles to worry about, so it doesn't really matter. So it shouldn't really give us an error there since we don't have has particles true. I'm just gonna race down there and see if it works. So this is just like a extra game mode kind of thing. So this game is a fairly linear game. You know, get the ball to the top of the level, to go to the next level type thing. But yeah, nothing's happening yet. That's not a huge surprise, but it is a little disappointing. It would have been cool to see something happen. But yeah, this game mode is going to end up being more like a homey experience with non-linear open world type, almost Animal Crossing type scenario with more exploration in mind. Imagine if the island was not an island but more a starscape, right? So that's a little disappointing that it doesn't do anything yet. Let's see what's going on here. It's not a trigger, but it shouldn't have to be a trigger. Let's see, what else am I missing? It doesn't have a rigid body on it. Maybe it needs a rigid body. But the bullets do have a rigid body. It doesn't look like it took any damage. We're not calling the function, that's why. Okay, so we'll say damage. Block, destruct, script, damage, go. And I think that's all I needed. I just didn't call the function, the method. Alright, let's see if I can kill this block. Shouldn't have made it so far away. Well, nothing yet. Hey. I seem to be not hurting it at all, so that sucks. I want to see the bullet inside. Alright, so it's not taking damage. It's a box collider. Maybe it only works with other triggers. It's good at that shot. Where is it at? There it is. Kind of roundabout way of doing it. Alright, so yeah, this has a box collider, but it's a trigger. I guess this is a question for Google. I can't spell the collision. Collider with both collision and triggering. I don't know where I'm at now. I'm in some type of physics rabbit hole, collision rabbit hole here. Forget what I was even doing. Oh, I'm trying to make this block die. I'm trying to kill blocks. It's not dying. Well, if it's not a... I guess we can try it as a trigger, right? I mean, we'll just have to do it that way. If it's not an enemy shot, if it's not an AI shot, if it's... what do I want? Where do I want to put this? This on-trigger enter script is just enormous. I think I just want to put it like... I'm just gonna put it here. Yeah, I'm gonna try this and see if this works, and hopefully it does, because I don't want to spend too much time trying to make a block die. That seems like something I could do 10-15 years ago. I don't know why it's so hard today. Hey, it's working. Cool. So I guess the next step would be to make the bullet explode also. So we'll just do one of these. Shock rapids, explosion. Tear hit zone top. So, I think that's actually all the stuff that I want. We'll try that. Cool. That looks a lot better, right? Get out of here. Alright, enough fun. So that was cool. I made a block. So now I've got to give them names. There's only 6, I think, to the tile sheet. But I feel like I've got more blocks than that I'm gonna need, because I made some extra blocks since then. But it is a good starting point. You can't really tell from this distance, but oh, let me zoom in. But yeah, I think they're actually different shapes, each of them. Honestly, I should probably look at the files because I don't really remember what they were. That doesn't. Let's go before they're damaged, right? Also, I feel like that should be filled in, but maybe not. Oh, so it's a corner. So that first piece I made is actually a corner piece. That's why it's got that 1 pixel missing. Yeah. Well, at least I took a look at it before I named it. So I'm gonna call this corner. Corner. Sorry, my finger just started itching like crazy for some reason. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm about an hour in. I'm just going to use the bathroom and be back in like 5 minutes. So hang tight. Thanks for checking the stream out, and I'll be right back. Alright, thanks everyone for hanging out while I took a quick break there. I'm back, ready to make more blocks, I guess. We made one, might as well make more, right? We got a corner block. Now we can make a whole ship. Just like I've got these ones. Oop. These are like supposed to be blown up ship pieces floating around in 2D space, and then this is going to be blocks that are destructible. So I've got two ideas. One is to put them together, and then the other is to have some that are just destructible and some that aren't destructible. So I'm not really sure exactly how it's going to work out in the end, but I want to have like a prototypey looking block thing set up just to make, you know, little level design pieces. Alright, so I might as well make this a prefab since it's like good to go. So I'm gonna go to my prefab folder. I'm actually going to... Alright, yeah, so I've already got a folder for explore mode prefabs. I'm gonna make a separate folder inside. And just... so that way I know that this is like a tile, right? I'll call it breakable block. Breakable blocks. So that way I can put all 6 of them in here and not have them causing confusion elsewhere. Alright, so we've got one, it's corner. I'm gonna duplicate and then go prefab, unpack completely, right? And then I'm going to go to the graphics here and change out the main graphics. This is the one that's gonna show like when the level starts. So I'm just gonna go next one over. And this one is an end piece. It just looks like a corner because it's on top of the corner, right? So it's actually an end piece. I'll just leave them here for now. But that means we gotta go through in here and change all of these for it, which it's only 5 things, it's not that bad. So I'm just gonna find my images folder, sprites, level. Oh, did I go too far? No, I didn't. Alright, so this first one I don't need open because it's just gonna confuse me. Just gonna populate these fields with the second one instead of the first one. Cool. And now that one's gonna animate differently. And so I'll just have to do that 6 times. But I do want to make sure that I did everything before I do it 6 times and do it wrong. I'm fairly confident that I didn't do it wrong, but you never know. Yeah, cool, cool. Alright, so yeah, now I've got this one. This is an end piece, so instead of corner, we'll call it end. Oh, thanks for the follow, Joey. Joey B. Yeah, Joe, man, it's been a long time, man. I feel like the last time we chatted, I think it was like a EDM show somewhere. I think it was in Chicago. I think we just ran into each other in Chicago at a show. It was like we just happened to be standing next to each other, I think, the last time we ran into each other, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's the way it works out, right? I'm in Arizona now, so we're probably not going to run into each other anytime soon. But you knew that because you were down here a couple years ago. But yeah, we didn't align back then. I was working a ton, and you were on the other side of town. There was heavy traffic. That was the deal. All right, so I'm gonna. Did I name this? I did. So I'm gonna throw this in the prefab folder as well. Go further, deeper. Explore. No, level. There we go. Ah, okay. Same thing, I'm just going to duplicate it and unpack it. Oops. We'll change the name. Well, I don't know what it's called yet because I don't know what it looks like yet. So I'll change the graphic to the next one. We'll move this guy down. Oops. Oh yeah, okay, so that's like an inside piece. So we'll call it inside. Or maybe inner. Inner. But yeah, I do need to change the animation on the collider. So this time it'll be the third one. Yep. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Did I do that right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think that's right. I'm gonna pull it out and double check here. Yeah, so got damage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tile 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So that all makes sense. I think. Tiles 2. What's this one called? Tiles 1. And then this one is tiles 0. So that makes sense, yes. I already gave it a name. I'm gonna get rid of this 2 nonsense at the end. Find the prefab folder. And we'll drop it in there. So now we're halfway done with the blocks. This song is kind of lame, huh? Oh, it's over. I waited through the whole song before I realized it. It got away from me. I was gonna thumbs down it. Maybe I could thumbs down this song instead. Gone too far. Where is it? This one? Oh, this one's not as bad though. Alright. This one passes. For now. Did I already duplicate it or no? I did. So I've duplicated it. I'm going to prefab, unpack completely. We'll change the graphic. Just to the next one over. So this one is a cross. It doesn't look like it when it's just by itself, but it's actually like the inside of a cross. So we'll call it cross. Alright. Oh, I closed it. I need the collider. So I'm going to give it the new sprites so that way it animates when I shoot it. Alright, we've got tiles 2, so that's 0, 1, 2, 3, so the fourth one down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, and that should take care of that one. find the prefab folder. Let's save it for later. Prefabs are super useful. If you haven't worked with them yet, it's a great way to instantiate things. It's a great way to use something across scenes, and then if you want to make changes to it, you can choose to make changes across scenes or not, and that's super useful. Especially like for my game, everything is scene based, so all the levels are on different scenes. Yeah. I keep clicking around. So I've already set up everything on this. I need the prefab folder, variable tiles, we're gonna add that. Yeah, and the way prefabs work, if you haven't used them, you just throw them in the prefab folder and it turns them into a prefab automatically, which is really useful. So I just duplicated it. If you don't want it to be a prefab, you just unpack it completely, and then it treats it as though it was never a prefab. So I'm going to change the main graphic again. And so this one is like its own, it's like a standalone block, right? So we'll call it standalone. Or maybe just alone, so it's not as long. Alright, and the destructible graphics on the collider. Gotta get back to our images. Level. Derelict ship. All the way down to bottom. Graphics. Oh, no, collider. Excuse me. Alright, so that was 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. We'll go to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? No, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Into the prefabs folder it goes. Duplicate. Unpack completely. I'm gonna get rid of that one. We're gonna change the graphics. This is the last time, I believe. Yeah, we can move that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the other one? Is there 2 here? There it is. Alright. We changed the tile. This one is it's a 3-way. Like a fork, I guess, but it's not like a fork. So it's 3-way is just, I don't know. I'm just gonna put 3-way on there. I can't think of a better term for it. Three-way. And oh, we've got that. So we need the collider. Now I'm gonna give it the destruction graphics. So that's the last one. Pull it down. Last one. Alright. Cool, so now all of these should die. I went from not being able to kill one block to being able to kill 6 different blocks. I felt pretty worthless there for a second when the block wasn't dying. I was like, I'm doing everything! And then it was throwing errors because I wasn't doing things right. Alright. Bam, 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 bam. So all these animations are actually different but similar. But the idea is that I'll be able to make shapes just like this out of those shapes. I should make it so the bullets don't go through these walls either. Whoa! Ah! Now, when I was on my tagging spree, I did do some tags that were actually worthwhile, and one of them, I think, unless I deleted it because I wasn't using it, which is kind of backwards, but I think I made one called Wall. So I'm just gonna look. Yeah, it's still there. It was one of the early ones I made, and then I decided I didn't need it. Maybe I still use it. But what I can do is I can make it so if a bullet hits a wall, then it explodes. Because right now the walls are on the side, and the bullets in the normal game only go up. And in the versus mode, they only go up and down. So they're never gonna hit a wall. So they're never going to explode, unless maybe there's a bug where it hits on the side, which I'll be able to patch later. So this, I feel like, would be a good way to say, if it's a wall, explode, and don't do anything, right? So I can then just tag these as walls. So I'm going to go into my shot 2D script, which is different than the regular shot script. So it actually won't even affect the regular game now that I think about it. So I'll just in the same spot here, I'll just I'll say if other, if I could spell, tag equals wall, capital wall, then it's gonna do pretty much all of this except not anything with the wall or the destruction. So just copy that, paste it, and that should blow up when it hits a wall. So now I just need to tag this yellow stuff as walls, and then the bullets then won't pass through. So I'm not sure how exactly this is going to work. I think this will be easy because this tile map collider, yeah, so all I need to do is change this layer to be wall, and then because it's a prefab, if I hit apply to prefab, now all of these derelict ship ones, which there's only 3 of, now are tagged the same way. So these bullets should now explode when they hit those walls too. With relatively little code and a small amount of time, it would have been even faster if I didn't explain it, but that's alright. I like explaining things. It actually helps my flow a little bit because, you know, for the longest time I was thinking in my head what I'd be saying. Ah, yes, so it's working. That's pretty dope. Ah! Whoa, it went right through that, which is interesting. Wonder if I can go through them. I can, so it's destroying the collider before it's dead. So there is a bug. That's fun. I like that. It gives me something to do. Let's check. We see we've got damage int is at 1. This one's at 3. Let's go back to our block destruction script. So it should only be destroying the block if damage is greater than or equal to the max. But it seems to be destroying the collider beforehand. I wonder if there's something that I didn't think of in the shot script. So in the shot script here, I have it checking and then doing a bunch of stuff, and I just grabbed stuff, copied and pasted. So this enabled this, all that, other. Huh, so it's not destroying it. It's only screwing around with the shot. And then here should only be starting this coroutine then. So this is a good way to debug if you're new to Unity. It's pretty obvious. What I like to do though is I like to make a boolean so that way I can turn stuff off later. So I do public just because I'm lazy. If you wanted to show this code to someone, you would want to change some of these public variables to serialized fields and make them private. So that way you can use them in the inspector, and that's just a better way of doing things. But I'm just saying that just so no one follows what I'm doing here. But I'm just kind of being lazy and naming most things public. So public. Boolean, I think, is that what I was going to do? I can't even remember what I was going to do. I lost my train of thought. I was going to... Yeah, I was going to show debugging. So I'm going to make a debugging variable. Oops, I need to be Boolean. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is before, or actually... Because it's not destroying the parent. It's not... I don't know why it's destroying the other objects. Well, it's not destroying it. It's still there. But I can pass right through it. When I was not able to before, so that's kind of weird. Oh, it's because it's a trigger. Brrr. I spent all that time making it work as a collider, but then I didn't turn off as a trigger. And now I gotta do that for each of these because they're all separate prefabs. Except for that one, which is not a prefab yet. Should be. So when it's a prefab and you want to change it, you right click on this blue and then hit apply if you want to. If you don't want to, then you don't. You kind of want to know if you want to or not. But that's just the way prefabs are. It will make changes across scenes if you hit apply. Alright, so this should still work even though they're not triggers. Or maybe not, because now I feel like one script is looking for a trigger and one's looking for a collider. I might have just made things more difficult. But that's the whole point of a block, right? It's gonna block you. So it's blocking me, and it's dying. Cool, it's working. Bugs sorted. Cool. Another thing I could do is go into my large asteroids and make these walls as well. But these are a little different. Some of them aren't finished yet either. Like these ones, the tile map colliders is on the top layer. I need to go back and fix some of these ones. You can see that it's not set up the same way. It's not using a composite collider, so it's not as performant. And I just haven't gotten to that yet. But you can see these ones are more performant. So I could easily change these ones to wall. I didn't make these prefabs, which I should have, because I could have just done this once, and now here I am doing it a whole bunch of times. And these are all different, so I can't just like delete them and copy and paste. So I spent time making all of these. Man, I keep just clicking. Go into the next one. So these ones are a little bit different. I have to actually go inside, find the tile map collider, and change that to a wall. And I might as well do that since I'm here. When I go back and fix it, it's really easy to change a tag. Oh, so now I'm just making the asteroids so you can't shoot through them as well. Which is going to cause some issues because it's a little buggy. Sometimes it spawns bad guys and asteroids inside the large asteroids, and it shouldn't be doing that. That's what this circle is there for, but sometimes it still does it, so I will debug that eventually. Not too worried about it right now. Wall. Tile map. Wall. Alright, so now everything is more collidable. The bullets no longer pass through things in this game mode. Oh, I was gonna test these guys. I don't know, I'm going down. Cool, so that seems to be working. Eventually I'm gonna make it so asteroids come out when you shoot it. That won't be too hard. I could give it a separate tag or whatever, so that way instead of looking for, or a script even, instead of looking for wall, it'll be looking to see if it has a script on it, and then if it has a script, it'll eject the asteroid from the asteroid pool. So that way, stuff will fly at you, and you can get minerals that way. Now, eventually I would like to make it so you can, like, dig into these things, but I think that's going to be a whole another, like, thing, you know? So I don't know, that might be a while. So yeah, there are some errors down here, and that's because I just like jumped into the scene instead of starting it from starting it from the start of the game. Because there's some singletons that get launched at the start of the game that the game relies on to load game data and play the music. So it looked for that stuff, couldn't find it, threw the error, and then continued playing because I have it set up that way. So right now it doesn't save your minerals, unfortunately. It'll be really quick to do that. That's actually one of the things that I was very close to doing yesterday. Also, this wall tag, I could make it so it hurts when you touch it. But I think I would have to change things if I use that same tag, because I think you might touch a wall in the other game mode. Although, no, I wouldn't have to change it, because this has different hit collider scripts. Because it's 2D. Oh, I'm about to die. Teleport at the last second. Cool, yeah, so since I got some people watching, I might as well show what the regular game is like, because like I said, this is just like a home type thing, almost like an Animal Crossing type thing, where it's like, you know, a place to chill between levels or after levels or stuff like that. This is the cutscene. I'll let this play since I spent a lot of time on this. And it's mostly going to get skipped by people, so since I can control it, I might as well play it out. Did things break? They did, okay. So I forgot that I have to actually start it from start. Otherwise it'll break that first level because I started it from this hub world. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just distracted looking at the users in chat. It looks like everyone's just bots, actually. I'll probably end up just, I don't know, removing these people, banning them, I don't know. It's not like they're watching. Well, one person's watching, so it's like hard to say, right? So yeah, I'm just going to play this. So this is my game, Retro Spaceball. I'm gonna skip the cutscene since we just watched it. First level's super simple, just kind of explaining the mechanics of the game. Just shoot the ball to the top of the level. Can actually make it bigger here. Whoa, almost lost my mouse. I guess I could turn down the music. This song's not terrible. I'm sure most people have heard the music, maybe not. Yeah, I guess that's not true. Most people probably haven't heard the music, so I might as well... Where did my cursor go? I died? I died, I was distracted. My cursor disappeared, I couldn't find it. Yeah. So I did make the music, so I might as well play it for people. And I did say I was going to do some Ableton stuff, so maybe I'll do that next. We did do some stuff with those blocks, so that's cool. I should probably make that last one a prefab still. So yeah, that's the main story mode. The versus mode is a lot of fun too. I have no problem showing that off because it's just so much fun to play. It's a little bit buggy still with the camera, but the gameplay is pretty stable. If you're playing on the WebGL version, it's not going to be as smooth though. It hasn't been optimized. Man, I made him so good. You see that? It's just taking out all my blocks one by one. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Oh, I got hit. Just gotta watch the ball. Oh, and I got him this time. Bye. Yeah, I think the last time I played him, he was hurting himself every once in a while and I didn't realize it, so everything was a little bit easier before. Now it's just a little bit harder. Seems to be a bug that sometimes it stops me from shooting, even though I'm holding down the button. I think it has something to do with running into the wall and dashing at the same time as shooting, and then undashing. But it's only happening sometimes because it only happened like twice during that whole match. But I won! I got him! It only took me 1 minute and 16 seconds. This is for all the marbles. Seemed like he had a terrible start there. I don't know what happened. So I think it might be interesting to continue keeping score like this and then to come up with stats based on like the score difference, right? So that way, you know, even if the players just like only shoot at the ball and don't shoot at each other and like try to keep the ball alive to keep their score up, it's only gonna give one of the players a boost, and it's only gonna be based on how much better they were than the other players. So if they both do really well, oh, draw game. Looks like I lost because of that. I know. No, yeah. He managed to get 3 losses, but still got a set win. I only got 2 losses, but no set win. So it's a little bit buggy when that happens. I think that's the first time that's actually happened. for me, where I there was a draw after like on the third game, right? So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, so I really like that. That's a lot of fun. I'm pretty happy with the hub world thing. I should, like I said, change that into, or make that last prefab. Yeah, this one. The 3-way block needs to be a prefab. You know, and while I'm here, like, I might as well make a little structure, right? Because, I mean, that's the whole point of this, is to make something. So, this is the corner. I'm gonna fix the angle here. I'm gonna move it over here. Probably just move all of them. So I'm just gonna rotate these. That's why I only made 6 different objects, because I was just gonna rotate them and mirror them. Yeah, so these inside pieces, I guess, is what I'll use, right? I could put music back on. Alright, so yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the V key and snap everything like that. Just, whoops. Just like that. Cool. So, I guess what I could do then, to make things more interesting, I could take all of these, oops. And where is it, the first one? No. This one. So I just put them all in an empty parent. I'm gonna call this level. Fuck. What happened there? What is going on here? Level piece, and that should be capital. This piece spelled wrong. I don't know how to spell piece. Level part. Yeah, so the point of that is, so I'm gonna put a rigid body on here. Oh, can't spell rigid. Yeah, so I'm gonna put a rigid body 2D on here. I'm gonna make it not have gravity. We'll give it a mass of like, I don't know, 100. We're going to freeze its position because we just want it to rotate like everything else, so that way we can put tiles behind it, and we can then even use the tile map, I think. Oh, I forgot to rotate. Hey, yeah, it seems to be working. Cool. So I could pretty easily make an asteroid based on that same stuff, but it would have to know what's next to it. So I'd need to make some type of like matrix for it to know. So that'd be kind of kind of technical, I think. I think that is the direction I would like to take this eventually. So you can shoot your way through an obstacle. Alright. So yeah, I'm starting to think that I should just delete these bots that have collected and then take a break, and then I will, yeah, just come back and do some Ableton stuff, I think is the plan. But yeah, so if you're not a bot, say something now, otherwise you're getting banned. Let's see here, yeah, if I click on you, and you just started your account. This one says 2015, which is crazy, but you sent 0 messages. I'm gonna say that that's a bot. At 10, you're not a bot. Sorry. Who's next? Def B. New account. Hasn't said a word. Bam. E. Harbzy. Are you a real person? You haven't said anything. Prime Gaming, GlitchCon 2020. You got all these badges and stuff. You almost appear to be a real person. But you are live, so you can't be on my stream. So yeah, I'm going to block you also. Alright, who's next? Nat Zelly, are you a real person? hosting. But you're hosting someone else, so that's weird that you would have all of these followers, host random people, and be in all these different chats. So I'm going to ban you as well. Alright, so who's left? Is it not letting me ban people? Banned. Block. Alright, so I blocked them, I banned them. They still appear to be in my chat. So, yeah. Wonderful. What am I doing here? Where's the mouse? Oh, I clicked the button, didn't I? Whoops. Sorry if you're watching, I was taking a second to ban bots, and now I'm gonna try to get them off the screen. Let's see. Oops. You have no clue when... Sorry, I wasn't watching chat. You have no clue when Pharaoh Man learned to fly, but man, he seems to be flying. Pharaoh Man is flying. That is true. Alright, yeah, sorry, I'm just taking a second to delete some of these bot guys, because they've overrun my stream here. Alright, thanks for joining. It's good to have you, Rebolts. I appreciate it. I have been working on this breakable block here for, what, a couple hours now. It was not breakable beforehand, and now I've got a tile system where I made this, and I'll give it a whirl for you. How's your day going, Rebolt? Yeah, Rebolts, right, yeah. Is your day going good? Are you up to anything cool? Are you a dev yourself? Indie gamer? What's your bag? What are you up to? Cool stuff. Oh, why is it going that way? I said this way. Yeah, so now I'm just flying down to that. There seems to be some weird lag thing going on with the camera. Oh, it stopped. And now it's doing it again. So yeah, I made these animate when you shoot them, and then they each have like health. You're painting Warhammer minis, which is awesome. That's so cool. And you were looking for something to have in the background. Very awesome. You're a concept artist, attended one game jam, and wish game engines and coding wasn't so intimidating. Looking neat. Yeah, you know, they can be intimidating, but I'll tell you, game jams are a great way to learn. And if you're like an artist, that gives you like something to do during a game jam that's not so code heavy. And then after the game jam, you know, if you've got a good relationship with the people you're working with, there should be no problem why you can't dissect their code and use what you've made later, right? So that's actually how I started as an artist, and having skills of 3D animation and stuff like that, as well as some just, you know, game design knowledge. We did pretty good. It was there was a programmer and myself, and then a composer. Wow, this is very, very choppy. I feel like the frame rate has gone down horribly since this last update. So I think it might be the stuff that I just made. Ah! But yeah, so I can actually bust it out here. I mean, I know you're doing stuff, so you don't have to pay too much attention. You can pay attention to your Warhammer minis for sure. I got a buddy who's just getting into that. Like, he was into it before, and then his house burnt down, or his parents' house burnt down. Everyone was fine, everyone was okay, but they lost a lot of stuff, and one of the things he lost was all of his minis. And he got some insurance money towards that stuff if he wanted to buy it, so he's like, yeah, totally buy new stuff, and now he's got it painted all again. So yeah, so I'm just gonna throw up Light Switch Crusader. Now it says it's by me, but I had an itch page. There are 2 other people involved here, and I credit them here. Music by Indie Maniac, and programming by iBinary. So yeah, there's a web build, so it's like super easy to play. Oh damn, sucked hard, but I hope he's doing good now. Also a nice reason to paint more minis. Yeah, you know, I think he had not done it for a long time, and I don't think he had planned on going back to it. So it's like one of those situations where it's like he's kind of appreciative, but at the same time it's going to be a lot of work. But yeah, it gives him something to do. He had been looking for a hobby, and I think that's just how things work sometimes. So I made a key. You find, and this was all for a 72-hour game jam. So I did all of the art, all of the voice acting, which you could probably hear if I didn't have music on. So the one thing that I didn't do that's present in the game, oh, where'd it go? Is come back. The animation of this guy. I did the cats, but I didn't do this guy. It was just, I spent so much time doing the cats. I have a key. Oh, I never put a joystick button for that. So you actually have to hit E. And then these cats will snitch on you, and also there's like a noise meter. If they touch you, then it's over. Or if you're too loud. And then I just let that other cat out, I think. At one point, it starts, they break their path and start doing different things and stuff. Now, I didn't do the programming in this, like I said, I had a friend that did that, so I just worried about making all of the assets. But in 72 hours, this was a lot of assets to make. And then later I went in and made a second level. That looks great for 72 hours. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, I just kind of raced through it, you know, I used a lot of the same materials and stuff. But I did make UV maps for like nearly everything in here. A lot of it, well, I mean, some of it's just planar mapping and stuff like that. But, you know, whatever worked, for like whatever was the quickest. Obviously, I'm pretty good at this, but it's actually pretty difficult for your first go, and a lot of people were really struggling with it. But what was really cool about this whole experience, this was Ludum Dare 39. So this was a little bit further back, right? This was 2017, and Got one light left. Where is it? And oh, it's not that one. I already got that one. Must be inside somewhere. Oh, is it the... Ah, the cat! The cat almost got me! The bathroom light. Oh shit, there's a cat in there too. Alright. House clear. Yeah, so what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. I was playing the game. I was probably talking about... I don't know, but eventually what I did was I learned so much from what the programmer had done in this game, mostly with the camera. The camera is so cool. Something about 72 hours for sure. Yeah, no, it was difficult. I had to just run around. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. It was my first game jam. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it was a super cool experience because two things happened right away. The first thing that happened was there was someone who was like a, I don't know, a small streamer, but still kind of medium-sized streamer is a good way to put it. They were no PewDiePie, but they were medium. You know, they had viewers, and she was just all of a sudden like called upon by Ludum Dare. I guess she had like a relationship with them before, and they needed someone to just like stream games. And last minute, she said yeah. So she was streaming the games that, you know, caught her attention, and mine was one of them. So that was super cool because she was really into it. You know, a lot of people were watching. It was really cool for me. Oh, I keep hitting the button. So I was just like ecstatic that happened. Like, you know, you make a game, release your first game basically, right, as a game jam. It's not like a full release, but you can still be super happy with yourself, right, especially when it turned out like this. We got 60th in humor, I think is what it was, which is good for Ludum Dare. So then the second thing that happened was that the next day, we had just uploaded it. The next day, a random person made a let's play of it, and she just loved it. She just absolutely loved every minute of it, and it didn't get a lot of views. She was definitely a very like small streamer. Like, I think I might have been one of the only people that viewed it. So I commented and was like, "Oh my god, thank you!" But that was just so cool that someone randomly happened to find my game. Because of itch.io, like the way that they do the Ludum Dare stuff and the way that the game was doing, it was performing well, so it was getting lots of comments and stuff, so it got pushed to the top for a little bit, and then she must have just seen it. And what's cool about this game is that nearly every month, I would say at least every once a month, someone plays this game. Someone just comes across it and plays it. Randomly someone will email me or message me and say, "Hey, I just found Light Switch Crusader and that's really cool, thanks for making that." And that's kind of cool, right? So yeah, I'm still very proud of this game, you know, despite it being a game jam game. And it's, you know, it has some flaws, right? Like the second level, I made this maze like way too big. There's no reason for it to be this big. I actually made it smaller since, but it needs to be even smaller. I was planning to go back and update this one more time, and I just never did. The only real issue that people found was that if you didn't have the sound on, you couldn't tell that you needed to find a key. So I made like an icon that would tell you that you needed to unlock. Yeah, getting attention is definitely fun. It's difficult when you don't get any attention. But I've been pretty lucky with Retro Spaceball, which is my current project. I threw it on itch right away. This was like right after I made this project, actually. I was very excited to start a solo project and get player feedback. And, you know, honestly, I had been playing around itch games for years at that point, and I was super excited to start my own itch account, and you know, just to start on that journey. And then I started getting feedback, and people were like, The concept is cool, but the game kind of sucks, right? It's got this, and this wrong with it. And then I went and changed this, and this, and then I gave it to them again. They're like, oh yeah, it's cool, but it still kind of sucks. Change this, and there's about 2 years of that. But after, I mean, the thing is, oh, game over. The whole game restarts. So that's another issue with that game, is that it doesn't save the fact that I finished this house or had a key or anything. I have to restart the entire game. But yeah, that's how that goes. So you say definitely should be proud. It's a really neat experience from the looks of it. It's a game jam game, so yeah. But the fact that people found it funny, it's no one was really upset with it. It was good enough where people enjoyed it. Like I said, I think I put the results on here too somewhere. Yeah, so it was only 389th overall. 318th fun, 308th innovation, 307th theme, 570 or 22nd in graphics, 252nd in audio, and then 60th in humor. So yeah, and this was from about 100 ratings. And you can see it's about 3 point something stars from all of those different categories. So it averaged about a 3.4, which is good for a game jam game. It's really hard to get good ratings when you're doing. So what happened this year, and it was kind of disappointing as far as game jams go. What happened was the winner had the minimum number of ratings, and they were all 10 or 5-star ratings. So obviously he just like had his friends like, hey, play and rate, like submit a game, play and rate, because those are the qualifications. And then he won because everyone else had people saying like, oh, your game's good, so I'm gonna downrate it. You know what I mean? That's the way developers are sometimes. So it's weird. Let's see. Yeah, your biggest achievement was Darkest Dungeon mod. It got a lot of attention out of nowhere, and it feels great to see people enjoying what you made. Wow, you made a mod? That's so cool. Yeah, I wouldn't know where to begin modding these days. Hey, Easy Perp, how's it going? What's going on? I was just showing off Light Switch Crusader. I don't know if you've played that one yet, Easy Perp, but it's a comedy stealth game where you play as a distraught older gentleman who's without a home, trying to turn off the lights that were left on by people who were just lazy. I did all the voice acting and the art, as well as the game design and all the concept and stuff. Yeah, I'm speaking with Rebel. He seems to be really cool. Just met him. They're doing minis. So they're doing Warhammer minis. So that's really cool. I'm not into minis myself, but I love painting. Darkest Dungeon is so bluntly easy to mod. You just take a look at how other mods work and modify it to what you need. Other games are probably a lot harder. That's interesting. Honestly, I haven't played Darkest Dungeon. I've seen a lot of footage on it. So, yeah, I do know what it's like, but I don't know what it would like to be to mod it. Maybe there's just like a JSON file or something. I don't really know. But yeah, I actually got started with modding myself, but this was back in early 2000s. I was modding Doom and Duke Nukem. I had the Doom builder, and then I had the build engine, and I just had a blast doing that stuff. I really did, 100%. And then I went to school for 3D animation. During the recession, I graduated and couldn't find work. Eventually, I started down the indie path, just working with people that I knew. I found a programmer and started doing art for them, since my background was art and audio. And eventually they left, and they took their code with them and said like, hey, you can't see my code. I'm like, well, I'm just trying to finish the game. And they're like, no, So what I did was I just found the tutorials that they were learning from and just started my own thing. It was a long time ago now, probably what, 2010 or so. I was using XNA, which was like on its way out at the time, and it was a lot of fun, but man, it was challenging. I spent a week learning how to just make a camera, and nowadays you can just drag and drop that in. That's my go-to reference for that. You know, it took me until about 2013 to start using Unity, because you know I'd done 3D stuff in school, and then I was finding that some of the engines were 2D only, like Game Maker, and I'd been playing in Game Maker for a bit, but you know, I wanted to make stuff 3D since I went to school for 3D, you know, so I started playing with a few different things, and by the time I found Unity, you know, it was still early. It was still pretty early, I guess, and it didn't have the UI functionality that it does now. A lot of things are very difficult, so I was actually I was really pleased myself with it, because I was able to make something like right away, just jumping into Unity and saying, I'm gonna try to make this ball roll around, and then I'm gonna make like holes that it falls in that you have to dodge, right? And then super easy prototype, you know, it's just like bam, done. And I did it in a day on my first day of using Unity. So like, yeah, I did have 3D background and stuff like that, but I had never used an engine like that before. Well, I used Game Maker and it was very different. So I don't know, I guess there's some crossover there, but not a whole lot. Also, I was in 3D now, so it was quite a bit different. But yeah, Unity is pretty cool. I like Unreal as well. I definitely want to do more with Unreal in the future, but I'm so just like, I've got the Unity in my blood now. I've been swimming in it for so long. I'm just saturated in Unity thoughts. I go to bed and I think about Unity, you know. So it'd be really hard to switch. A bit ironic considering your game is 2D, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's ironic, but honestly, there's good reason behind it. You know, because 3D tools were very expensive back then, and you know, I didn't really know about Blender when I started this project. I think I was just learning about Blender, but I didn't think I would be able to learn how to use it, considering I spent all that time in 3ds Max. So I was like, well, I don't want to pay for 3ds Max, right? And honestly, I love 2D art too. When you're an artist, it's, you know, it's really, I don't know, you can discern the two. Obviously, you can say this is 2D and this is 3D, but I mean, you can also say that 2D art is three-dimensional too, right? Because everything is made in 3 dimensions. We live in a 3-dimensional world. You know, I've got this painting back there. I had to paint the sides of the canvas because the canvas wraps around a frame, right? So I'm painting in 3 dimensions now. Not to mention, when I went to art school, I had to learn how to make paint flat because that's how we were taught, you know, and obviously you can make ridges and stuff in the paint, but the idea was that to make everything flat. And so that's another dimension right there, because if you have a little lump in the paint, there's shadow to it now all of a sudden in depth. But yeah, you know, it is a bit ironic. It is a bit ironic, but it's also natural. And there's a lot of 3D elements going on in this game, right? Like, I mean, this is all very 2D in this scene, but I've got this other scene I could show you where things are more 3D. Because this is just kind of like a level select menu that's gone too far. Now this, again, it looks 2D, but you can see there's definitely a lot more going on here. Like the lights and stuff. Everything's stacked in a way where it's overlapping. The, let's find the colliders. If I bust out some type of collider here, or a trigger maybe. Hit zone. Oh no, that one's not it. Click on one of these guys. There we go. You can definitely see there's some 3-dimensionality here. Where it doesn't necessarily need to be, and that's just because I had been used to working in 3D engines like XNA and 3D frameworks and stuff. That's true. Interesting to see all the layering in there. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of an old school way of doing it, considering Unity, you don't need this stuff. But when I started this project, a lot of the 2D functionality of Unity wasn't quite there yet. You had to download like from like a Git somewhere, like some thing that wasn't quite finished yet and might have bugs and was still being updated and stuff like that. So I stayed away from that until just last year. I think I started using the 2D stuff and learning how that works. Yeah, so I mean, it's cool that you can use both. I like it. I mean, obviously you have to separate them. You can't put them on the same object, but you can use them within the same game for sure. I just use separate scenes for that. Yeah. So that's cool. Now I was going to actually switch. Now first, I do think I'm going to take a break, just to use the bathroom real quick, because it's been about an hour and 30 minutes since my last break. And then I'm going to come back and do some Ableton stuff, I think. Yeah. So I'll just be right back, and in a minute or two, I'll be showing some Ableton stuff. I can actually very quickly, where's OBS? Show the tools that I'm working with here. I've got my, I keep calling it a Launchpad. I've upgraded. It's no longer a Launchpad, it's a Push 2. This thing is super sweet, super fun to play with. It's made just for Ableton, and Ableton's what I've been using for like the past 10 years or so. A lot of fun. Obviously it's a little bit overkill for making chiptune, but I'm a producer of many varieties, and eventually it'd be cool to do composing for other devs, and just make a wide variety of music. So yeah, I will be back. It looks like another bot has joined the room, so I should probably boot that guy. Oh, did I get the wrong guy? Go away, dude. Oh, I don't think I'm doing it right. Oh, I'm having trouble killing that bot. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. I'm gonna use the bathroom, be right back, and then I'm gonna do some Ableton stuff. Okay. Oh, that's not the right one. There we go. Okay. Ready to do some chiptune here. Now, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I don't have any plans. This is kind of my dessert for having done something today. I might be jumping the gun on whether I deserve it or not, but I like to enjoy myself. The current setup, it's convenient because you can see the device, but it's actually far more convenient for me to do it on my lap. But let's see here. I can explain some things real quick here. This is my default setup, right? So I've got a wavetable that's set up as a square wave, a drum track that's just got a bunch of drums that I made, and now these are actually oscillators, since they're called operators in Ableton. It's a 4 oscillator synth, and I actually am pretty good at making, like, that's a bass sound, but these are like chiptune hi-hats. Chiptune woodblocks. Now these are just explosions. I'm gonna turn off this Chipsel. Chipsel's an artist in this that they play a lot. Pretzel is the app. Yeah. Now this instrument has this accent button, which is nice because if you turn it on, then everything is the same. Everything is cranked for some reason. So I think what happened is that a cable came and touched this knob, and then I saved the template. So now if you just open a new thing, it's clipping. So that's kind of bogus. So I might as well resave the template now that I've changed it. You do that by just clicking Save Live Set as default set. And I don't know, I guess I'll just call it Untitled 1, because yeah. Alright, so yeah, wavetable, drum rack. Now each of these has a EQ8, a compressor, and a limiter, as well as the master. The master has the exact same thing. This is like my basics for starting a track, so that way you already have an idea of what's going on in the mastering process, right? So this limiter is just super default, just completely set to what, minus 0.3 decibels, so it's never going to actually get to 0. It's never going to clip. It's going to stop it before that. The compressor, this is set pretty low, 1.08 to 1. The milliseconds, what, 2/100ths of a second, and then release, the attack was 2.02 milliseconds. Then the release, yeah, I mean, you barely hear a few milliseconds like that, so that's really low. And then there's a few different ways of looking at the compressor in Ableton, and I prefer this one. It's a little bit hard to see until you write something, so I'll just make a quick drum beat here. That's the metronome. Hit play. Alright, I need to hit record first. I didn't do quantizing beforehand or anything like that, so I'll just quantize it real quick now. It's just 2 MIDI notes, so let's just take a second. And we can turn off the metronome. Yeah, so now we can take a look at what's going on in the master. Give a listen. Here we go. You can actually see what's going on if we were to crank the ratio and turn down the threshold. Now, compression is something that not everyone completely understands, but it's super useful to understand as a producer or a composer or just as an instrumentalist. Compression is such a useful tool, and anyone who's into audio should understand compression and expansion. Now each instrument's going to need a different, not only each instrument, but each recording of each instrument is going to need a different compression solution. But for the master, we're going to keep everything really low. We're going to keep everything really default in the threshold and the gain. Yeah, and there's no default here, so what I do is I try to keep the limiter so it's just barely doing anything, right? Or the most about there, so it doesn't go past -6, right? It depends how loud you want your track to be. Most music these days, because of EDM, the loudness level has been pushed. Everyone expects things to be decently loud. So with game music, it's not the same way, but you can, when you record it, you want it to be loud, and then you can bring it down. So it's one of those things, right? That's gonna get annoying unless I start playing music here. So right now we're in C major. And I was listening to some New Order earlier, and they have this track in B flat major, and I was thinking, like, I've never really experimented in B flat major. I was playing in B major and I was having some trouble. I mean, might as well record that, right? If I can remember what I did there. Oops, that's wrong. Yeah, so again, it's not on, but I'll just clean it up. Wow, that's really off. This got way diluted. That's not what it was before. Start over. Fuck. Alright, so now I've got a bass line. I'm just gonna duplicate the bass line. I'm gonna delete the track. And then I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna keep it a square for now. That's weird. Why is it starting there? There we go. Yeah, so what I've been doing is making a little sketch like this, where it's just a bass line and a melody. There's some, you know, what do they call that? Where they harmony. There's like a harmony going on, right? There's like a feeling, an emotion, and then I try to move on from that. And I'm doing a little bit of practicing here, but I'm also coming up with ideas that I'll be able to use at the same time. So what I'm going to try to do now is come up with a bass line that this song or this line could lead into, or vice versa, or at least make something that I could fit something in between them to lead up to that ending point, or vice versa. Coming up with pieces to a puzzle that I haven't even envisioned yet. But there's a mood starting. I can hear it. I think it's gonna get a little bit more serious though, because this is kind of lighthearted. And we'll just see what that's like without this melody going. Gotta run. Really fun. Hope to catch you again soon. Yeah, man. Thanks so much for dropping in. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care. Alright. Yeah, I guess I could change my Twitch category now that I think about it. Oh, thanks for the follow. I really appreciate that. Awesome. Whoa, what's that? Wrong keyboard. Alright. think I like that. Finally. It took me long enough. Everything sounded so just too much. Like it needed to be more minimal. Alright, and that drum line is the exact same. I don't know, maybe we can make something that's different. I like to just use the kick and the snare here. What it does is it forces me to be a little bit more creative. So like, if I was like, depending on that, then it might not actually be that different. I use that beat a lot, but it's not a bad beat, so I might as well just have it in there. I'm gonna clean it up a bit because it's a little off. Kind of like both. So I'm gonna duplicate. Oh, not that. Get that out of there. I'm gonna select everything. Hey, you will leave it. No, I want to select up here. That's what I want. Duplicate. Yeah, and then here I'm just gonna move these guys over. So it's got that swing to it. Cool. I'm digging that. Although it's not serious like I wanted it to be. It seems to work together. Starting to wonder about Alien Gathering, if they're just a lurker or if they're a bot. They seem to be a bot, so I'm going to see what they do. Account created June 4th, 2021. Yeah, I don't know. Posting. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of you. Sorry, Alien Gathering. I have a feeling that you're a bot, and I'm trying to get rid of bots. Alright, back to the music. like any of that. All of it's cursed. This melody's ruining it. I don't like that. Just gonna try different things here. That's what it should be. crop this so I can get a better look at it. I'm gonna zoom in and see what's really going on here. So this is just a little bit off, and it's gonna be like that. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it here, and then I'm gonna delete the old one and just bring it down. Same thing here. Paste it. Delete the old one. That way it's more precise. Am I doing that right? I did it wrong. First one was just a one beat after. I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe it should be the other way. Also, this is different. Actually, that one kind of sounded cool. Oops, I'm doing this wrong again. Alright. Oops. End instead of delete. What's wrong with me? Alright. Of course, I'm copying and pasting things that don't look good, meaning that they're not quantized at the end. Hey, zoom in when I'm not trying to. Alright, yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can do something with the drums here. Oh. Oops, wrong button. that snare's off. There, now there's some variation, that's nice. It all seems to work together pretty well. So I'm going to save this because it's been too long. Should never go that long without saving. Whoa, throwing lights. Alright. What should I call this? 110, B flat, major, groove, zip, 11, 2, 21. B flat major grooves, 11, 2, 21. Alright. Cool. Yeah, I like to arrange things, you know, because now I can just go from 1 to 2 to 3. See how there's a progression there? And they all work together? That's what I was going for. But it needed to be reordered to feel that way. And sometimes that happens. Alright. New baseline, that's the plan. Just move this to my lap here and, you know, make things a little less ugly. There we go. Oh, I don't want the other guy going. It's gonna throw me off. What just happened there? Did it just turn off or did I delete it? Because I didn't want to delete it. I want to delete this guy. Kinda fuck that up, but I can make it work. Actually, that sounds pretty good. Oh, it's this one. It was only 7 measures, that's why it sounded fun. Why does that seem like it should be different? No, that's right. I dig it. See if we can add some different percussion to it. The master get changed again? That's 3. There it is. I decided I'm just gonna keep it simple. After all of that, I'm like, ah. Cool. Alright, it looks like Elysium's a bot also, so I'm gonna get rid of Elysium. Oops. Clicking on the wrong thing here. Alright. Banded a lot of bots today. Oh, I gotta kick you off the stream, Avatar. Alright. This all sounds pretty good, actually. I mean, it doesn't really fit the game that well, but that doesn't mean I won't find a spot for it later, because I've got all of this menu stuff where, like, customized menu should have its own music, you know, unlocked menu could have its own music. Like, people would actually like that if each menu that you spend some time in had its own music and it faded between it, and I know how to do all that stuff, and I'm pretty much making the music for it, and if I don't use it, I could probably sell it. Yeah, I might be able to make variations where it's using some of the melody, some of the treble melodies and some of the bass line melodies, and vice versa, and just switch them up a bit. But I like this for now. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with what we did in Unity and the hub world. Excuse me while I set this down. Probably sounded pretty loud on the microphone. I'm gonna play this one last time, and then I think I'm going to call it a day. The chat seems to have emptied out, and I got a lot done. 9 o'clock in the morning. So that's cool. Nearly a 4-hour stream. And we got some cool stuff in. I could even make a little video and tweet about it for tomorrow. For Screenshot Wednesday, right? Wishlist Wednesday. Screenshot Wednesday, whatever. There we are. Let's go shoot some things. Yeah, it definitely starts slowing down, like right there. You can't hurt me, I'm inside my little fortress thing. It's cool how you can hit more than one with one shot. So if you had like a really well placed shot, you can hit 2. Cool. All right. Well, I am going to call it a day. Thank you everyone for watching. If you're catching on the VOD, I appreciate it. Yeah, come by and say hi and chat sometime if you catch the stream. And yeah, thanks for being interested. Thanks for paying attention. All right, have a good one. I am taking off.